Ask the Mayor. Your chance to ask the Mayor of Weymouth questions about the town and or anything else that you have concerns about. Ask the Mayor is pre-recorded. And now it's Mayor Bob Hedlund.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. Summer is cooking. We are excited here at Ask the Mayor. I'm Jim Melody, your host, as always, joined with the Mayor of the town of Weymouth, Robert Hedlund. Robert, good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon, Jim.
We'd like to change our little show display on the table so people know they're watching a different episode. This one says Fins Up, Bob, so summer has to be here. That's the Jimmy Buffett theme, I think.
It appeared in this room. I don't know where it came from. I don't know what it means. Is it a Jimmy Buffett reference?
In fact, it is, as far as I know, unless somebody wants to contradict me here. Bob, your office is a hodgepodge, a treasure trove of different knickknacks and things that people drop off as Jeff looks at your
It's missing an N. Collection. It's missing an N.
Uh-huh. Oh! Very well done, Mayor. Nice pun to start off the show. Well, Bob, let's get right into it as always. Hi there. I've lived in South Weymouth since 2019, and I've seen the amazing changes to Route 18 during that time, which I think is looking pretty good myself, as a matter of fact. My question is around the development.
Is it as good as Union Street, Jim?
You know what? When I get off of Union Street into Columbian Square, well, let's segue before we get. Are we ever going to be paving the Columbian Square, like the proper area? Like on Union Street, it's phenomenal. No two ways about it. 18 looks good. Is there plans to pave that?
Evidently, he missed the development update segment on Columbian Square, too.
Okay, I try to tune when I can at the Weymouth channel. There's so many Robert Hedlund programs.
It's not a Robert Hedlund program.
A Day in the Life for Mayor, Lunch with the Mayor.
That's a town program talking about town events, town doings, developments in town. Columbian Square, Jim, is one of the biggest projects we have going on.
All right, so it's moving forward.
We're opening the school in time for the students in the fall. Columbian Square will be the biggest project that's ongoing right now. You should get up to speed on that, Jim. If you are going to be the citizen advocate, dial in to Development Update, which can be found at WETC. What's the what? Weymouth.tv. Go to the archives or whatever and see Development Update, and you get up to speed on Columbian Square, seawalls, open space.
This is why we tune in
else?
To learn, to watch, and
everything.
Learn. Hey, tell me more.
Everything.
How about Ryder Penthouse Towers up by the high school, the old St. Francis? Will I see the updates on that?
There's no towers.
Oh, I thought he was planning on a whole new community there, Ryder Land. I thought he was thinking about that.
Maybe if people would start going to church, they wouldn't be selling property off, and they wouldn't be going bankrupt, and they wouldn't be selling land to developers. And by the way, the zoning on that was done in 1980 or something by this town. When we did our zoning changes, we never envisioned or thought about changing the zoning at churches. It didn't enter our consciousness. During the hearings, nobody brought it up. No one suggested it. The council didn't think of it. Yeah. He's actually doing a project there that's way less intrusive than he could do. And he could do commercial there, and he had a Starbucks that wanted to go there.
Always thinking of others, that Kenny Ryder. What a great guy. Hey, listen, so this is awesome as we move forward.
Didn't he do a project in your neighborhood?
Yeah, always thinking of the community, yes. And
how did it work out in your neighborhood?
I would say...
you were in a butter.
He got his cake and ate it too.
Were you in a butter?
Yes, if that's the answer to the question, yes.
So how did it work out as in a butter?
I think it all worked out as well as it possibly could, to answer your question directly, in lieu of the circumstances and the players involved. Absolutely.
Well, you brought that up.
Yes, I'm happy to, and I'm glad I did. It's come up in the past.
Maybe we'll get a question on that project, but yeah, there was talk about the Facebook rumor mill. We got calls when it was first broached that he bought it and had proposed a project. And there was a rumor that 72 units, 72 houses, and a pedestrian bridge over a pedestrian
That's what that
bridge.
area needs. I think that area needs something like that. Bigger. It should be bigger.
A pedestrian bridge over Pleasant Street.
Of course. Why not? In a dome. Maybe a dome.
Yeah, but it was a rumor that people bought into. Yeah, people were calling us about it.
But hey, Cotton Mather, thanks for sending us back to church too, by the way.
Hey, I complain sometimes that people aren't paying enough attention.
Yes.
The community meeting that was held on that project
was packed, I heard.
It was a huge turnout.
Yeah, I know some of my friends went. I was out front keying cars. Okay. But Robert, staying focused on Union Point. My question is around the development going in Union Point. I haven't seen a single business even try to open in this area in 3 years. I was wondering what the plan is to get some vibrancy and businesses into the area down here. Thanks, Jim. Oh, hey now. Am I allowed to write questions into my own? 3-syllable last name, but not Melody. But us Jims think alike.
I know the last name, but I don't know him.
Yeah, because
Or
you
if
like
he's
Creedence
related
Clear-
to a friend of mine of the same last
You
name.
like, yeah, who? Creedence
I can't
Clearwater?
speak for what is going on with Corcoran and their commercial space. Outside of Union Point, at the entrance of Union Point, we're very happy. We just had a ribbon cutting for the Hungry Lions Market.
Oh, I saw that, yeah.
So that's on the town side, that's outside the Union Point environ, so we're happy that that mixed-use building
Oh, that's
got,
not considered Union Point per se, where that building is?
it's outside the
Right,
environs
okay.
of Union
Wow.
Point, as I just said.
Border.
And we're very happy that the mixed-use project that went there attracted a retail tenant. Had lunch there, it was great. And all I can say is the same answer we give every time we have a question. We got the master developer, we got master developer trying to put pieces of the puzzle back together.
There is an official master developer down there now.
It's been, yeah, he's been there a while now.
Okay.
After
Doing
Kyle
great work.
Corkum left town.
Doing great work.
Brookfield Partners, and they're, let's say, slightly behind schedule.
No.
A year or two maybe, but they're working on reassembling the parcels, which are in foreclosure. And unfortunately, we have the Coast Guard auctioning off 51 acres, which the last time I checked was up to almost like $5 million bid price, and that auction should be closing right around the time we're taping this. Literally,
get a bid
it
in?
may have closed, it may close this week unless they get another bid in. So that'll be interesting to see who gets that, and that'll affect the equation a little bit.
So stay tuned, as we say here at Ask the Mayor.
We got a long haul still with the Union Point, and as I've said, I think, and there's some other elected officials that disagree with me on this, but I think this is the last bite at the apple for this current governance structure that exists over there. If this master developer can't pull it off, I don't know long-term if this governance structure can survive over there.
Should I write Kyle Corkum at Sing Sing or Walpole? Where should I address my mail when we're pursuing?
I heard a wild rumor the other day that like he's doing a project in like, I want to say Australia or someplace. I don't remember where. It might have been Australia. Something crazy.
He's the music man. What this town needs is a band. Okay, moving forward, we want to remind everybody, keep the questions coming in to askmayorbob@gmail.com. Askmayorbob@gmail.com. Not asking, telling. The town has a real treasure at the senior center. Norm Treatalt? Shine? Who knew Medicare is so complicated? Mary, I don't know if I followed all this. Some questions are written in
Do
code.
you recall when we got the spam from China?
Bob, to the best of my knowledge, this is our first inquisitor and question from International Zone. Are you ready, sir? It's entitled Inquiry.
Where's it from, Jim?
It appears to be from China. Hello, this is VG from Dongguan Changming Electronic Company Ltd. of China. We know that you are making about electronic products. Our products include major series, video and audio series, data transfer series, monitor and control series, etc., such as network cable. Oh!
And he was reading it like it was a question.
Yeah. By the way, as we talk, we have a new camera.
That might be the highlight. That was more of a highlight than Ric Flair turning up on the show.
The claim to fame of the show is neither one of us see the questions prior to the taping of the show. So.
Why can't we use last names on these? Why are you just putting first names?
Because Mary writes them all.
Do they not want their names? This is from Mary Stokes. This is a well-known Weymouth name.
Stokes we love.
She's making a comment. She's not asking a question, Jim.
Okay.
Norm Tetrault.
I pronouncing his name was someone.
He helps them fill out their Medicare forms and things and guides
Employee
them.
of the town?
The Shine program, I don't want to say, well, they
It's
might.
an acronym?
I don't know if they're volunteers or if they get a stipend, but they're not employees of the town. But Norm's been over there for years and does an awesome job, and she's commenting on it to let us know. So Mary, thank you.
Awesome.
And Norm's a great guy.
All right, I'm often accused of missing the obvious. So this came up not so long ago. The Whipple Center, where you mentioned our former superintendent, Jennifer Whipple. Is there any connection between Jennifer Whipple and the Whipple Center? Someone asked me, and I said, geez, I'm not sure.
I'm not.
Whipple's a
not
prominent
with
Weymouth
her.
family, like the Stokes. No, not for her, of course, but the Whipple family's been in Weymouth for quite some time.
Well, Whipple would be her married name, so it would be on her husband's
This is
side
why
of
you
the
get the
family.
big
And I
bucks.
think
I'm
there
a
is. I'm not
volunteer.
sure.
Okay, interesting. All right, so no direct connection.
There was a
that you're
Curtis Whipple, right? Wasn't he a principal or something? Huh?
Jennifer Curtis. Yeah. Jennifer
Yeah,
Curtis.
so there
Whipple.
would
Her
be-
maiden name is Curtis.
No, but there was a. So I think there is a connection. But if
Well,
we're
Jen-
wrong, we're going to look
Jen,
like
we
fools.
love and miss you.
Jen,
and,
I know you watch the show. If we're right,
And hey,
you don't have to
She still lives in
respond. But if
Weymouth,
we're
doesn't
wrong, drop us a line.
does she still live in Weymouth, Jen?
Yes.
Okay,
Come
Jen,
on,
we
let's
love
get
and
to
miss
the
you.
questions.
All right, I'm just listening. Maybe there's a family connection. She could drop by and tell us. All right, Robert. They're not all pleasant here at the home of the hits. Waste management system failures. Hello, Mayor Hedlund.
Waste management.
I saw the town cleaning up the beach today. Brought such hope and gratitude. Then down the street near Green Street, I see the trash barrels overflowing with free-flowing containers and rubbish everywhere, wind-blowing stuff all over the place. We've heard this one before. Can you please remind residents to use bags if they're overstuffing their
We have
barrel?
heard this one
Number one. Number two, please remind the DPW and residents when putting out barrels during windy days and that trash flies everywhere, blowing into the woods and the ocean. And three, everything around the water needs to be closely monitored, please. Osprey Park is getting trash from the building construction that's going on right now. The poor herring and birds need extra help from our town of Weymouth. Please, and thank you for your help from Tracy. Go ahead, Bobby.
There's a lot there. Yes, I agree with everything you said, Tracy. And we will remind residents to use bags if they're overstuffing their barrel. There's an old saying we used to have in the legislature: you can't legislate common sense, but you can remind people. One good note she might, and we've talked about, is that we're doing really well on our recycling rate, and our residents are doing a really good job.
Excellent.
People don't realize that our recycling is audited, and we get fined if we don't hit certain levels of adhering to the proper items going into our recycling waste stream.
Wow, complicated.
It's a complicated problem for our country right now, with China not taking a lot of our recyclables as they used to, and it's can't have contaminants in it. So that's one good news on the issue of waste management. It's funny, when she said waste management system failures, I thought she was talking about our vendor.
Yeah, the company.
But that's not, the company Waste Management does not have our contract.
Right.
And by the way, we are happy with our trash contract. They've been doing a pretty good job, and we got locked in at a good rate.
Excellent. When that system first came out, we were every resident got 2 barrels, obviously, and when we got the recyclable ones and the regular trash, I thought, what the hell am I going to recycle barrel that big for? I'm never going to use it. There might be 3 or 4 items in there, and every week that barrel is more filled up than the trash barrel actually in my house. I don't know if that's
Well, that's all those beer cans that you're not taking
Yeah.
back to the recycling.
and the booze bottles pile up. So it's all right, Robert. We'll carry on here, and thank you to what is the name of our trash carrier, by the way? You should all know that by now. Easy Disposal. That's
Easy,
right.
thank you.
Okay.
They have two sister companies.
Oh, no kidding. And how long, can you comment on the length of that contract?
So that's one we don't have to bid, believe it or not. We re-up them based on their performance. Probably, I don't know, it was probably 2 years ago now.
Jeez, yeah.
And I can't remember if it was a 3 or a 5.
Is it the same company who picks up the landscaping refuse?
Yes,
Oh, no kidding. Okay, that's a heck of a service too. Big fan of that one. All right.
that goes to a different location, obviously, but
Okay. Hello, Mayor and Jim, Crosstown Traffic Melody. I think you know this is from our good friend Ed Harnett. I spoke with Owen, the town's traffic engineer, several months ago about the Johnson Early Childhood Center on Pearl Street. I asked about the flashing light and improving signage. The building houses, as you know, a school of young children with vans going in and out many hours of the day. I find that cars go too fast down that street, and there isn't anything to make the cars go slower. I've also heard that this building is in need of repair, so I'm not sure how much longer it will be in operation. Can you address these questions? I would appreciate any feedback. So I guess it's about the traffic and the condition of the building.
I know this is an ongoing thing with
That's a great little service.
the school department.
That's very part of the program, isn't it?
The future of our early childhood efforts, and obviously there's changes happening there. But in terms of the sign,
May, we love you.
there was a guy that went off on me about that sign on social media.
What's the problem?
It doesn't work. It hasn't worked in 100 years.
Oh, the flashing one?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't remember the specific, but when I inquired probably four years ago now, I was told it wasn't going to be fixed. I don't remember why.
Wow.
But I'll have to revisit it and get Ed an answer on the next show. I hope I'm not dodging, but I can't remember.
Geez, those flashing speed signs, there seems to be more than them ever in town. And as I've said before, I'm a big fan of them.
We have two that aren't working.
Oh, okay.
One, we need a control board. It's gone, burnt out, that we're having trouble getting. And one on Pleasant Street that a driver wiped out. And we're waiting for the remuneration from that driver's insurance company right now.
I apologize several times. But I'm a bit. Do we keep adding those?
I'd love to know how they took that one out.
Do we keep adding those? Because am I crazy, or does it seem
Those
to be
were installed on a grant that we got through our Complete Streets initiative.
You must get a lot of good positive feedback on those from the residents, right? Those flashing signs. Yeah, those. I think they're awesome, honestly.
Generally, I mean, it's a good reminder for people sometimes.
Better than a cop stopping you, obviously. All right, well, listen, I think we're coming to the end of another exciting episode. Let's hope so. Because we're down to our last question.
Summertime, people aren't writing in?
Well, listen, and as always, we thank our good friend
Well,
Ed Hartnett.
I'm going to put these guys on the spot. We got a new guy in the crew. You guys you've been doing the show for 100 episodes, 102 episodes now. Maybe you have some questions. Go ahead.
Okay, well, here we go. And no, Jeff, I won't sing with your band on the weekends. We just found out Jeff was in a band. Have you seen his band, by the way?
Numerous times.
Okay, there you go. Hello, Mayor Bob.
And in fact, you have too.
Where would I have seen his band?
Oh, my God. We'll go over that later.
All right, Jeff. You know, I bet if I saw your band, I would have come up and shook your hand. You know it. Hello, Mayor Bob and Jim, sitting on the dock of the Bay Melody. I was wondering if you were still
Otis Redding?
Yeah, I believe so. I was wondering if you were still in the market for office chairs. Huh? There's a building in Jackson Square on Pleasant Street across from Toma. It has a bunch of office chairs, maybe 10 to 2 gathering dust. Perhaps you can ask the landlord of the building or the owner if he's willing to give up the chairs. Maybe you'll get a good deal. Just FYI. Thank you, Ed Hartnett. I'm more interested when there's 2-for-1 McRibs at Burger King. He can let us know. Oh, Mary's saying flip it over.
He wrote
Hold on.
still, right?
Mary said flip it over. Is this?
Wow, Ed Hartnett's thorough.
But I'm thinking maybe this is a joke. Can you? I don't know what this is. If this,
Are you
maybe
saying
that's
Ed Hartnett's serious questions? Or
well, I know. I certainly.
It is. It might be a joke because I think he's taking a pot shot at the ugly building.
It's been there for quite some time.
So it is frustrating. This building. It's a beautiful old building. It's in a little bit disrepair, as are a number of them in Jackson Square. But this is used by a guy for storage who is in he's in the supplies. He supplies barbershops, hair salons, a couple of barbershop chairs in there and stuff. So I think Ed Hartnett could possibly be making a little dig.
Ed, our most loyal viewer, our best questionnaire.
Because we don't need chairs, but still in the market for office chairs. I think he's making a reference to something we said. He's very astute. Yeah. You know what he's talking about, Jim? You know what he's talking about if we're still in the market for chairs? You know what that reference is?
Apparently, we must have referenced the fact that we need chairs.
No, I told the story about the chairs we got. The chair I had was similar like this to sit at my desk, and angels descended upon Town Hall one day, and Mr. Rob DeStasio, local businessman.
Hallelujah.
Rob DeStasio from, oh my goodness. Mr. DeStasio's, what's the name of his firm?
Chairfair.
South Shore Upholstery, I hope it is. Mr. DeStasio's upholstery business on Green Street, not 450 Green Street. It's an odd number on Green Street, not 450 Green Street, but what's the name of his upholstery company? Is he South Shore? If I give them the wrong name, I feel bad. Could be naming a competitor.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, will you look it up for me?
And did he bring you a chair?
But when I was first elected, he said, do you need any chairs? I just took chairs in from a job at Bain Capital. And he said, they're really expensive chairs, and I'll donate them to the town. And I was sitting in this thing that more resembled a rock than an actual chair that Mayor Kay had back there. And I said, sure. And it's the most comfortable chair. You can get a shot of that. It's awesome.
And then when he lifted up the cushion, it said, property of Mitt Romney, I understand.
No, and then he said, how many more do you want? And I thought I was being magnanimous, and the council had the same uncomfortable chairs, so I got 11 plus 2 extras for the council. And I don't think I ever got one note of thanks on that from them on that.
FDR was chicken in every pot. What are you, a comfortable seat for every butt? Is that the
No. But I mean, the chairs were horrible that were here. So they have some comfortable chairs in there.
Yeah, Bob, since you mentioned it, I meant to tell you.
All right, so we have some extra time.
The show is hell.
This will be a first. We'll take some questions from the crew.
Well, Bob,
the new guy that's here. It's his 4th show. Anything about Weymouth you'd like to get an answer to?
So I'm not Mike, so restate the question.
Yeah, I'll restate the question. I know how it works on TV, bud.
He wants to know my salary.
If you had to pick any other of the 49 states to live in, what state would you pick and why?
If I had to pick any of the other 49 states to live in, where would I pick? You know, there was a period in my life that I was in flux, and I was at a career crossroads, and I was in love with Arizona. I had friends out there, and I had visited a number of times. That used to be sort of my pick, but, you know.
Hopalong Hedlund. They call you out there, I heard.
Maybe, but it's beautiful. I love the Southwest, but I don't know, maybe Florida. Because I've had some exposure to Florida. I get some friends down there now, and I've been able to visit. So Florida comes to mind first. I'd have an easier time giving you the list of the states I wouldn't want to go to. That would come to me very quickly.
Well, hear that too.
Well, yeah, or cities, that I wouldn't want to go to. Jeff, any questions for us?
Are there any updates on the rumors of potential brewery additions to the town of Weymouth?
Are there any further information regarding rumors of additional breweries coming to Weymouth? Well, there was a rumor on one, and I probably, since it didn't happen, shouldn't mention the name, but another South Shore well-known brewery had an offer in on a piece of property.
Anheuser-Busch?
No, no. On the same road as our 2 existing breweries. That would make a lot of people happy and might make a couple people unhappy that don't like having the breweries down there. But let me finish.
Pothole Place.
They had a building under agreement, and somehow the seller got out of the agreement because another suitor came by offering $100,000 more for the property. So they sort of got out of that agreement with the brewery, selling it to another industrial use. And then that deal fell apart, and by then the brewer had moved on to another site. Kind of a shame, because I think it would have been good. Now there was another brewery that looked at, it's amazing that the economic activity surrounding craft brewers. There was another brewer that was looking at sort of like a beer garden setup. They wouldn't do brewing there, but they'd be doing some retail, and I don't know where that stands. That was a small kind of proposition.
Enough with the breweries. What about hard booze? We can't get any distillers in here? There's one in, Plymouth?
There are probably a lot of them around now, I think that, Brady's building would make a nice big distillery, wouldn't it?
By the way, I didn't get a chance to answer the state question. Can we go back? There's no place like home.
Nobody watches
I've lived in 5 or 6 different states. Perhaps you've heard. I end up coming back home. There's Thomas Wolfe was wrong. You can come home again.
There's no place like home.
This show is called Ask the Mayor in the town of Weymouth. This is the heaven on earth. This is the best place to be. Wouldn't you say, Mayor?
Can you put some violins over that?
Show is called Ask the Mayor in the town of Weymouth. This is the heaven on earth. This is the best place to be. Wouldn't you say, Mayor?
All right. Now, I don't think he's going
Home
to...
is where your mother is.
The quiet man of the crew here. We don't know, Seth.
He's hoping to God the show's
Do you have a
over.
question, Seth, after 100 episodes? Because you've been here for all of them, right?
I've been here for a lot of them, yeah. I do have a question, and it's very specific.
The question is when traveling down Pleasant Street towards Jackson Square and people who are bearing right onto Water Street tend not to stop. And the people coming the other direction have a green arrow. So not only are you going to get run over, but when I'm making that left turn, which I often do, people aren't yielding to me either. You're right. They treat that like a yield, but it's like everything else. It's like no matter where you go in town or any town, how bad adherence to traffic regulations are. All I can tell you is proceed with caution when you cross that intersection. Because we don't want to lose you. No, I mean, there's just so much of that. And, you know, I mean, it's a common complaint. Why can't we have more traffic enforcement in my neighborhood? I say the same thing to the police department. You know, I'd like it in my neighborhood. And one time, a high-ranking member of the town police department said, yeah, we get people asking for stepped-up enforcement in their neighborhood, and then
When we do
they complain because they're the ones getting the tickets. It's the neighbors getting the tickets. It's amazing. Yeah, so I'm familiar with that, and I don't know what you would do to fix that. I mean, there's people not adhering to what is a red light and need to stop. Exactly.
But listen, if you do get hit, we're going to put a plaque there for you. And then we'll call it your corner if that's okay. Hey, Bob, same train, different track, whenever.
How often do you go to Gusto's?
A couple of times a week.
Yeah, I'm
It's a winner.
I work in the studio in the
Yeah.
Franklin Pratt basement.
That's right.
I can show you where their offices are if you ever have a moment. Whenever I park at Columbian Square, pulling out of those parking spaces, the assigned parking spaces onto the road, nobody stops either when you're pulling out of, whether it's your buddies at Olympic or any other places. The traffic can be tough. You know what we need is more development, more cars. I think would be great in this town. We could. So thank you all. We started off with our developer friends and all their enhancements to the town. We'll end it on that note. So stay tuned for this old house, maybe.
How about look out there now? How about kids walk home from school?
Final day of school in Weymouth today too, isn't it?
Why can't kids walk home from school anymore? You're worried about traffic. Look out the window at the traffic jam right now because nobody walks home from school anymore.
Well, that's part of it too. Well, stay tuned for the next episode where you're going to talk about that new school that's about to. Is that scheduled to be open in the
I walked
in the
through
fall?
it yesterday.
Son of a
It's
gun,
absolutely
huh?
phenomenal.
Son
Do
of
we
a
have
gun.
a development update scheduled when we do the tour?
I can't believe
It's unbelievable.
I thought I saw the artist rendering outside the W and stuff. It looks phenomenal. All right. Stay tuned for more info on Hedlund High on the next episode of Ask the Mayor. Stay tuned for.
I don't know.
He doesn't know. Room 222.
Good one.
Thank you. Speaking of high schools.
If you have a question, please email the mayor at askmayorbob@gmail.com. That's askmayorbob@gmail.com. Maybe your question will be answered on the next episode of Ask the Mayor.